Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Crypto Convo, series I make whenever I feel it's necessary, where we cover some exciting news and price action in the land of Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain. There's a lot of bullish news coming out right now, a lot of exciting price action, so super excited to sit down and talk to you guys about this. As always, we will go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, Bitcoin. You know how we have to kick these off, give you guys a general rundown of Bitcoin. Excited to look at a few charts today with you guys. Kick it off with Bitcoin, though, on TradingView, where we will be looking at all these charts. Started off that way. We will then move into Riot. Again, we'll go down the line here. We're going to talk Bitcoin, Ether, Link, Riot, Mara. You guys know the deal. I probably put it in the title. But yeah, we'll go down the line here. We will also cover a few articles. Some very good news just came out today. Breaking news on Riot. So, I mean, if you've been keeping up with the channel, you know I'm extremely bullish on Riot. I'm heavily positioned personally in Riot. So this is music to my ears. I'm super excited to cover this with you guys, as well as take a look at Riot and let you guys know what I'm thinking in regard to price action. We will then cover an article on BlackRock. Huge investment fund. If you guys have been in the space, I'm sure you've heard of them. Huge player. This is a whale. This is a titan of industry who does now hold a stake indirectly in Bitcoin, nonetheless still a stake. So cover this quickly. Kind of want to go over these articles pretty quick and just give you guys a quick take on them. Don't want this video to just span super long, but we will then move on to this article talking about Grayscale. So if you've heard me talk about Grayscale Bitcoin, Grayscale Ethereum, it is a digital currency trust that I'm personally invested in pretty heavily as well. So this is exciting news. They're launching a mass ad campaign, and they actually just dropped the commercial, but I just kind of want to put this on your guys' radar. We're talking mass adoption here. We're just talking bringing Bitcoin mainstream, which at this point in time is the most important thing. We will then move on to Chainlink. So Chainlink has just been absolutely ripping you guys. Fun fact, I will say this every time we talk about Chainlink. That is a fact, just for a flex. Chainlink was the first video I made on this channel in regard to investing. So check that out if you want to hear me sounding stupid and making my first YouTube video about investing. But Chainlink has been on absolute fire. We'll cover this quick. Just want to show you guys Chainlink's chart and give you guys kind of an idea of what I'm thinking there. We will then very quickly talk about YAM. If you guys are involved in cryptocurrency, you probably heard about this. Huge news over the past couple days. This is the shittiest side. This is the terrible side of crypto that I would highly advise. None of the things I say on here, you guys, can legally be investment advice, but this is investment advice. Do not play with things like this. This is the stupidest side of crypto that pisses me off, and that's why it dropped from 60 million to 0 in seconds. Okay, take a look at that. We then will close it off talking about this, which is in my mind the biggest news in regard to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in a while. This is Dave Portnoy, El Prez, Stool Presidente, meeting with the Winklevoss twins, or two of my idols within the Bitcoin space. They're obviously kingpins within this space, own the Gemini exchange, been in this since the early days, since like 2011, I believe. So they're OGs of the Bitcoin space, convincing Dave, I'm now the Baron of Bitcoin, featuring the Winklevoss twins. Again, you guys, this comes back to the Grayscale ads, just bringing Bitcoin mainstream. This is the biggest thing right now, is just adoption and getting it on people's radars. Because once it's on people's radars and once people get a little piece, they dive down the rabbit hole. And once you're down the rabbit hole, I mean, trust me, you guys, if you're not down it yet, there's no turning back. So before we do get into this, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do want to gain value from it, or if you're invested in any of the assets we're talking about today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. First link in the description if you're interested in my exact positions in some of these stocks and assets that we're talking about today. All right, so again, kick it off with Bitcoin. Same drawing I've had, I believe, in the last Crypto Convo, or whenever the last Bitcoin analysis I did was. I still think that this is going to hold strong. Again, with all the fundamental news, and again, you guys, always remember, if you haven't heard me say this before, I always rely on fundamentals as opposed to technicals. I heavily outweigh, I should say, fundamentals over technicals. I do still use technicals, and technicals do still definitely play a role in my mind, like 70-30, 80-20 or fundamentals to technicals. But technicals always do just kind of solidify my general trend directions and just my ideas of what's going on. All right, so super fundamentally bullish on Bitcoin. I'm technically bullish as well. I'll let you guys know why that is. And that is because, I mean, Bitcoin is still just holding this uptrend, okay? And it's showing a lot of strength. We're on the daily here. It has been going sideways for the past couple weeks now, around this $10,000 to $11,000 region. But I definitely think that we will once again come up to retest this upward trend line, which is actually a pretty conservative trend line. You see, I didn't take this absolute top into account here. I think this is a very conservative trend line that it has been setting since that March low and since this rally back up. And I do think it will once again come up and retest this line of resistance around the $17,000 region. That is my price target, you guys. That's where I think Bitcoin has the potential to go. We've seen it go to 20K before. In this market, when there's so much new retail interest, so many eyes on the investment space, I don't think it's out of question at all to get Bitcoin excuse me, to the $17,000 region, almost up to previous highs. Especially, again, you guys, Bitcoin, provenly scarce asset, gold 2.0, in a world where we're printing trillions of dollars of fiat currencies. I mean, Bitcoin is a no-brainer in my mind. And with all this stuff that we're going to be going over, I would not be surprised at all to see Bitcoin hit $17,000 very soon. And if it does go accordingly, if things go accordingly, exactly accordingly, which I'm not guaranteeing anything, you guys, keep in mind, Bitcoin can crash tomorrow. I don't know anything for a fact. I'm just using the data and experience available to me to make the best conclusions I can. All right, so if this goes exactly as according to plan, September 15th, we will reach a $17,000 plus Bitcoin. And again, you guys, give or take, I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm betting on. That's what I'm thinking. I have seen some supporting technical analysis from other traders that I respect as well. So I'm going with that. Remember, you guys, take that with a grain of salt. Take every analysis with a grain of salt, but that's kind of what I'm betting on. Know that my money's on everything I'm saying. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Super excited to move into this Riot. So let's talk about Riot. Riot actually started the day not in very good shape. Come on, please load. So started the day not in great shape, but I mean, over the course, it did end the day up 2% and is actually up about 4% after hours following this news. So prior to getting into the technicals, let's cover this piece of news, which is so bullish. Okay, so Riot Blockchain announces further progress in company's transformation and delivery of additional 1,040 S19A miners from Bitmain. Okay, so Riot Blockchain, Bitcoin mining company, Bitcoin goes up. Riot goes up because they mine Bitcoin. They validate the Bitcoin blockchain, and in return for doing that, they are compensated with Bitcoin. So they're paid in Bitcoin. That's why the price of Bitcoin goes up. Riot's profits go up as well. And the more miners you have, the more Bitcoin you can gain. Riot chairman provides statement in second tranche of additional S19 miners expect to increase hash rate by 28%. So that means that they can pretty much mine 28% more Bitcoin, which is huge. All right, so I will read this chairman's statement and commentary. The second quarter of 2020 marked a pivotal milestone for Riot Blockchain as it represented the successful conclusion of the initial phase of the company's transformation, said Remo Mancini, independent chairman of the board of directors of Riot Blockchain. The focus of this initial phase was on several important objectives. One, to systematically reduce the company's risk profile, and two, strategically position Riot by enhancing the competitiveness of our mining operation. Three, restructure management and agreements with service providers to the benefit of the company. We're pleased to report that Riot has successfully executed on each of these objectives. So again, you guys, I've been following Riot for a long time. I've been invested in them. Sometimes big positions, sometimes small positions. Right now it's a big position since 2017. I have followed the journey. There's been some shaky times for Riot, but over the course of this year, like starting 2020, they have just been on a roll. They've been dropping tangible good news. Like sometimes you can make promises. That's a lot in this market, in this current market environment. There's so many promises made and so much just hopium and just so much kind of void hope in the markets that it's refreshing and it's super backing and super just reinforcing to what I'm already thinking, that Riot is actually doing tangible, making tangible progress in terms of their mining operations, because that's how they make money. They're also invested in different blockchain companies as well. So the cryptocurrency space does good. They make money. They have more mining machines. They make more money. That's what you want from a public stock, especially when you're invested in. Okay, so very bullish news for Riot. Let's take a look at the chart real quick. So I did talk about this in my newsletter this morning. Again, you guys, if you want my exact positions on Riot, I have a few different call options positions as well as a stock position. Complete portfolio daily newsletter down below. But I did talk about this in the newsletter this morning, and it's going pretty damn accordingly. Okay, so again, we saw it come down, bounce off this lower line of support that I had drawn over the past week or so. I had this lower line of support, so it did successfully perfectly bounce off that line of support right there. So that's very reinforcing to my just technical perspective of this. It is successfully following this technical pattern. It is in an uptrend. It has bounced pretty much following this arrow nicely. Definitely a sharper move up, especially considering the after hours movement. Again, it is up about 4% after hours. And I mean, that's great news, you guys. So I'm super bullish on this. I do think that it will continue to go up and once again retest this absolute top trend lines that it has been setting over the past. Let's zoom out here so you guys can see this. Sorry if this starts to look a little blotched up, but as you can see here, since like May, since April, May, it has since early May. Okay, so it's set a very like solid, this is a solid upward trend line, and this is I definitely expect it to once again retest this line of resistance. If it does play out accordingly, just as I drew here, remember you guys is take this with a grain of salt. If it does play out as I expect it to, we will see a $5.70 Riot on the 20th of August, so about a week from today. Remember, you guys, the trend lines are just a general idea of trend direction. I have no idea if it's going to play out exactly. It's very likely that it won't play out like this, but it would be cool if it does, and that's what I'm personally expecting, okay? So super excited about Riot. Let's move on to Mara quick. Mara just kind of rode the coattail of Riot this morning. So Mara did kick off the day. Mara's definitely seen a significant correction over the course of the past few days, which makes sense when you see any parabolic rally like this. But Mara, it would make a lot of sense to be like, Mara doesn't look nearly as technically appealing to me as Riot, but I think Mara, just guilty by association in the best of ways, will just ride the wave of Riot, and people want a piece of Mara as well as Riot. So I'm long-term bullish, very bullish on Riot, still bullish on Mara, more bullish on Riot. So not going to talk too much about that. Let's move on to this article, just kind of talking just fundamentals. Okay, so we'll talk fundamentals, and then we will move on to finally look at Chainlink. So BlackRock, Vanguard indirectly hold Bitcoin via MicroStrategy investment. $89 billion investment giant BlackRock now indirectly holds Bitcoin after MicroStrategy purchased 21,000 Bitcoin this week. Okay. So earlier this week, Bitcoin bulls and crypto investors were thrilled by the news that MicroStrategy, a Nasdaq-listed business intelligence company worth $1.2 billion, had formally adopted Bitcoin as its primary reserve asset by purchasing 21,454 Bitcoin, roughly $250 million. This led the majority of top crypto analysts and industry folk to post uber bullish statements on Twitter, and for many, this confirmed their belief that Bitcoin is in the early stages of a bull market. What I've been saying for a long time, you guys, this is the beginning of the next bull market. This public company, which you guys should keep an eye on, MicroStrategy, it actually hasn't seen too much price appreciation, but over the course of probably of this next bull market, I can definitely see MicroStrategy picking up a lot of steam. So keep your eyes on that, because they did turn half of their cash reserves into Bitcoin. This is a huge step. This is a huge step for a public company. Very smart company. The CEO's, I'll probably cover this in tomorrow's Waves Weekly. The CEO statement, it was so bullish in regard to Bitcoin, super thoughtful. So I recommend you guys go check that out if you're interested. But this is huge. And again, this just comes down to mainstream adoption, you guys. BlackRock, Vanguard, huge funds, like titans of industry, very like legacy names in the financial markets, are exposed to Bitcoin. And that's, I don't know how you can't view that as super bullish news. All right, so once again, quickly go over this. Grayscale to bring crypto to the masses in another ad campaign. Barry Silbert, CEO of Grayscale, super bullish on Grayscale. I actually think Grayscale Bitcoin can outperform Bitcoin itself, because a lot of the hedge funds can't just go out and buy Bitcoin. A lot of large players, like legacy players, kind of like BlackRock, can't just go out and buy Bitcoin. There's a lot of regulatory frameworks around there, but they can buy Grayscale. So that's why I think Grayscale could actually outperform Bitcoin. So Barry Silbert tweet, are you ready? Grayscale's national ad campaign kicks off next week with TV ad on CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business. We're going to bring crypto to the masses. Bring crypto to the masses. So, I mean, great news, you guys. They actually did just recently release the commercial. I thought it was a little cheesy, but at least it's getting the word out there, and that's what really matters to, especially a demographic that watches these TV channels, that watches kind of legacy media like this, which is an older demographic which has a lot of money and a lot of capital to throw around, so that's good. All right, let's move on to Chainlink, and then quickly talk about the meteoric rise of Chainlink. Again, you guys, did I mention that it was the first video I've ever posted in regard to investing? So what's behind the meteoric rise of Chainlink? We'll just quickly go over this. Chainlink has experienced a meteoric rise this year, becoming a top 5 crypto asset by market cap. We took a look at the data from decentralized finance space as well as Google to help explain this phenomenon. In the past 24 hours, Chainlink has seen another massive rise of 30% alongside DeFi tokens like SNX and Maker, which seem tied to demand from yield farmers trying to get their hands on YAM tokens with a much hyped new protocol. this pisses me off. So this is what I was talking about in the beginning. We will talk about YAM token quick, just as a little PSA. This is a direct financial advice. Do not invest in projects like this. And then we'll move on to look at Chainlink. I just want to show you guys how crazy the Chainlink chart looks. So YAM's market cap falls from $60 million to 0 in 35 minutes. 2-day-old DeFi project YAM. So this YAM is a sweet potato. That's what it's named as. That's what the freaking icon was for this. Has seen its market cap evaporate in under an hour as a desperate last-minute attempt to fix a bug in the code ultimately failed. This is exactly why you don't play around with these stupid, kind of Dogecoin even falls into this category of crypto. I think the meme-ish, I love memes, don't get me wrong. Big fan. Huge fan of memes. But, I mean, meme cryptos just put a bad look on the cryptocurrency sector as a whole. We're trying to establish a serious financial asset class as a whole. And when you have just goofs, stupid projects like this with a bunch of stupid people running them and a bunch of moon boys, hype boys investing in projects like this, this just pisses me off. I hate projects like this. You guys focus on companies that are doing actual things. Companies like not even a company. Bitcoin is an asset. Bitcoin is Gold 2.0. Bitcoin is owned by nobody. Bitcoin will always be the king in my mind, king and queen, whichever you may prefer. Bitcoin is always number one in my mind. Ether, close second. Market cap, market has decided that. XRP, I'm a fan of XRP. Chainlink, obviously, has seen huge gains. And just stay away from these guys, just these types of stupid altcoins, okay? That's why they call them shit coins, all right? So that said, let's move on to Chainlink quick. This will be the last chart we look at. There's Chainlink. So at $17, this is absolutely insane, you guys. Let's take a look at this. Let's zoom out here. I actually want to show you guys this on the daily candle. Okay, so we'll probably go to 6 months. Here. Let's just go here. So look at this on the daily, you guys. This looks stupid. So when I believe I posted my Chainlink video back in March, it was at $2. It's currently at $17. That's insane. I never could have forecasted this growth, especially because it's so significantly outperforming the entire cryptocurrency market by far. But if you guys just I talked about this in the newsletter this morning as well. Watch this, you guys. Look at Chainlink. Look at how Chainlink is acting right now, because this is a textbook bubble. Okay, you see the first rally, you see the bubble pop, you see capitulation, and then you see the second wave. If you guys have been around for a while, you've heard the two-wave theory of mine for a while. You see this in bubbles. This happens in almost every bubble I've ever played. I've played a lot of them, trust me. You see the first wave. You see some of the some profits taken. That's why you see the bubble pop. You see it go sideways for a little bit because there's still that bullish momentum. And then you see the second freaking rip. And this thing is going parabolic. If you look at it like this, this is like textbook parabolic. This is hockey stick growth. And I think this bubble will pop, to be completely honest. But I've also said that kind of like around this area too, and it did prove it kind of popped a little bit, retraced a little bit, but this thing is just on such a rampage. Currently the 5th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. That's insane. I'm very proud of them. The reason I like Chainlink initially is because I'm super fundamentally bullish on their tech. I think Chainlink epitomizes the beauty of what blockchain technology can provide to the world and the value that it provides to the financial markets and the entire financial ecosystem. So I'm very bullish on Chainlink fundamentally. I cannot, by any means, I would never establish a position at these levels. I do think it'll probably, this bubble will probably pop and likely come back down to like the $10 region. That's what I would guess. But if it does that, I would personally, I'll probably reestablish my Chainlink position in full once it comes back down to like the $10 area. But at these levels, super scary. But watch how this acts, you guys, because you can use this information. This is a textbook bubble. You can use this information for future bubbles that you may play to your advantage. Okay, watch how like 2 days up, 2 days down, 3 days up, 4 days down, et cetera, et cetera. Just trend spotting. It's psychological patterns. That's what bubbles are. It's psychology on a chart. Okay, so keep an eye on this. Just make sure you keep an eye on this so that you can use it to your advantage in future scenarios similar. All right, that's Chainlink. Let's wrap this up with this piece of amazing news. This is I'm so pumped that this happened. I heard it in the talks a couple days ago. It actually happened. I'm so stoked that it did, because I'm a huge fan of Prez. I do rip on him a little bit because he's the king of the retail Joes, of the day traders. He is a meme in the trading world at this point, but I love the guy. I love his piece reviews. I love the company he's established and grown at Barstool. I'm a huge fan of his work ethic and him as an entrepreneur. As a trader, not so much, but a lot of people do see him as like their idol in trading. And if you guys are familiar with the Winklevosses, whatever, I mean, they're OGs of Bitcoin. They owned the Gemini exchange. They have a partnership with, they own Nifty, which is like an art, like an art platform. It's digital art built on the Ethereum blockchain. I'm actually trying to work on a collab with them right now. I'm super excited to do that because I'm a huge fan. But I mean, they're OGs of the Bitcoin space. If there's one person or two people, I should say, in this case, I could sit down with in the cryptocurrency space, it would be them. So this is huge. This just brings so much exposure to Bitcoin. And again, Dave, king of the day traders, I'm now Baron of Bitcoin. But that's great news. And I will talk about this more in the Waves Weekly tomorrow. I have an article ready for you guys to cover in that regard. But this is just huge news, you guys. I highly recommend early content of the week. Go watch this. Watch this video. And please let me know what you think about it, you guys. We'll call it there. This is going pretty long. Don't want it to just keep ranting on because trust me, I can't rant on. So excited about this space right now, you guys. I'm more bullish than I've ever been on this space in my life, and that says a lot because I'm a bull. So I'm super excited to just keep you guys posted. Please let me know down below if you're excited about anything we talked about today. If there's anything that you think I missed that you wish we talked about, let me know so we can next time. And yeah, just excited to talk to you guys and just excited to be experiencing such an exciting time with you guys. All right. So until next time, once again, got to do the plug. If you guys do want to know my exact crypto positions, my exact positions in Riot, Mara, I have a lot of blockchain-based stock positions as well on top of cryptocurrencies. So complete portfolio, all call options, all put options, stock positions, cryptocurrencies. Update the portfolio every trading day, I should say. Along with that, I do send out a newsletter every trading day during market hours, talking about the trades I made that day, new positions I've closed, rationalizing my thoughts as to why I made the decisions I did, and just giving you guys more real-time updates on the markets overall. So check that out if you're interested at all. If not, no worries. And until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.